After an exciting Tuesday night of the Champions League, where Real Madrid traveled all the way from Madrid to Merseyside in Anfield to go and triumph over a struggling Liverpool side, Liverpool has again dominated Real Madrid in a Champions League game and won 1-0 against Real Madrid, the most successful side in a Champions League. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your much anticipated Champions League review. The Tuesday review is here. We'll talk about the Wednesday games too, and then probably in the subsequent days we'll bring you the Wednesday and then the Thursday game. So make sure you click on the subscribe button, you press the post notification bell, follow us on our social media platform. My name is Kobo. This is Kobo Sports Room, and this is your reality check Champions League review. Let's get straight into the video. So yes, Liverpool won 1-0 against Real Madrid. PSG also lost, that is the European champion, losing against Bayern Munich, the most informed team in Europe right now. And then some other games, Tottenham Hotspur also winning by 4-0, Juventus drawing and all of that, PSV also drawing. We are going to talk about the Champions League, but before we go to that, there has been something that is happening. It has always been, Spanish, English Premier League, Spanish, English Premier League. Now in the Champions League, Spanish teams has met English teams on 5 occasions as of now. As of the time of recording, 5 games in the Champions League, and the English teams has won 4. Except only Barcelona. Barcelona won 2-1 against Newcastle. Even in that game, Newcastle could have done better, but 2-1 against Newcastle, 2-0 against Athletic Club. That is Arsenal winning 2-0 against Athletic Club. Manchester City also winning 2-0 against Villarreal. Arsenal again also winning 4-0 against Atletico Madrid, and then now Liverpool winning 1-0 against Real Madrid. Now let's move into the Champions League proper and check out some of the results that went on yesterday. Napoli there. I don't know what is happening in Napoli. And Conte, over the years, it has always been like, Conte is a very, a serial winner when it comes to the domestic, games or the domestic, trophies. But when he moves to the Champions League, he doesn't do well. So any team that is taking Antonio Conte or that is giving Antonio Conte a job, you know that your team is not going to do well in the Champions League. But if you want, success in your local, league, or whether it is the Premier League, whether it is the Serie A, whether it is the Spanish Premier La Liga, call upon Antonio Conte and he will deliver for you. By the Champions League, forget about it. Napoli drew 0-0 or goalless draw against Frankfurt after they were trashed by 6-2 against PSV last 2 weeks. Napoli still failed to even win the game against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Maradona Sports Stadium. That's the Diego Armando Maradona Sports Stadium. So Napoli, they are not doing well. Antonio Conte, is about time he look into that. It is not every day we are going to say you can't do well in the Champions League, and every single year you prove it to the people who are saying or challenging you that you can't do well in the Champions League. Every single year you prove it to them. I don't know what is happening in Napoli. They have a couple of injuries, but 0-0 or goalless draw in here against Eintracht Frankfurt. Arsenal also winning by 3-0. 3-0. Bukayo Saka scoring. Mikel Merino also scoring, I think, 2 goals. And Mikel Merino, the earlier he invests in PR, the better. Because the way he has started the season, he is scoring. I mean, right from last season, he had 15 goals involvement for Arsenal in all competition. So Mikel Merino, from last season to this season, he has also, done well for Arsenal. He is scoring this season. He is doing really, really well this season. So the earlier he invests in PR, the better. We are not talking about Mikel Merino. And we'll be talking about Declan Rice. We'll be talking about all the Bukayo Sakas. We'll be talking about all these players. But Mikel Merino is really doing well. Even Martin Zubimendi. But Mikel Merino in that Arsenal midfield is doing well. And he is giving the numbers. No matter where he play him, he is going to give you the numbers. So the earlier he invests in PR, the better. But Arsenal. Bro. Arsenal, the kind of clean sheet they have been getting and the kind of wins they have been getting is mind-blowing. It's mind blowing, and good to see Piero Hincapié also playing for Arsenal out there. I am so happy for Piero Hincapié. So Arsenal won by 3 goals to 0 against Slavia Praha. I mean, it was expected. It was an away game, but it was expected. But Arsenal are doing really, really well. Now the game people are looking forward to watch is Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, the cracker game. We'll see what will happen. Atletico Madrid 3 goals to 1 against Union. 3 goals to 1. I mean, it was expected Atletico Madrid was going to win 3 goals to 1. Juventus also drew 1-1 against Sporting Lisbon. Liverpool, a struggling Liverpool side humbling Real Madrid. Now, going into this game, Real Madrid has had, a very good form. They have won, the Clásicos and all of that, even after the Clásico in the subsequent weeks. Even after the Clásico this weekend, they also trashed, the team they met in the Spanish Premier La Liga. So, going into this game, some of us had faith in Real Madrid that Real Madrid was going to win this particular game. But yesterday we saw the old Liverpool. We saw the Liverpool of last season. We saw the Liverpool where I wanted to win every single game, especially in the big games. That is the Liverpool we saw. We saw the partnership of, Ryan Gravenberch. We saw Dominic Szoboszlai. We also saw, Alexis McAllister, who's eventually scored a powerful header for Liverpool. So we saw that Liverpool midfield combo that was dominating. They were doing interpositional changes in the midfield. So the Liverpool of last season, we saw them yesterday against Real Madrid. And I want to big up certain players. Conor Bradley, if he is going to continue like this, it is going to be a headache for Arne Slot as to who he should play between Conor Bradley and a 40 million plus player Jeremy Frimpong. It is going to be a solid headache for Arne Slot. And Liverpool in this particular game was coming into the game where they have been struggling. So Real Madrid coming into the game in Anfield, at the back of their mind, they will be thinking like, no, if Liverpool are struggling and we are also in top form, surely we should go and get the 3 points. But Liverpool also came into the game prepared. They came into the game prepared, and big ups to Florian Wirtz. Yesterday he did well, created 1 or 2 chances, and it was still not been able to utilize and buried by some occasions, Hugo Ekitike and even Mohamed Salah. So Florian Wirtz also did well yesterday. But Real Madrid, if not for Thibaut Courtois, Real Madrid would have conceded like 8 goals minimum. But Thibaut Courtois saved the day for Real Madrid. And I think if you are a Real Madrid fan, you should be happy that you have Thibaut Courtois as your goalkeeper. You should be very, 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 very happy because, bro, about 7 to 8 saves in this big game is not easy. And he has been doing it against Liverpool. I don't know whether, he always go into a game against Liverpool thinking like, no, bro, I am going to give my, my best, performance of my life against Liverpool. If it is about Liverpool, then give the game to me. I will, get the game for you guys. So Thibaut Courtois, he has done really, really, really well for Real Madrid, especially in games against Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, after this game, are going to build a solid confidence and are going to challenge or chase the title. They should be able to use this Real Madrid win as a confidence booster that, we have been struggling lately. But, winning against Aston Villa over the weekend, winning against Real Madrid in a big game in the Champions League night must be a confidence booster for us to go for the goals in this particular, season. So big congratulations to Liverpool. I think it was a great win. Alexis McAllister scoring a brilliant goal. Dominic Szoboszlai, doing really, really, really well, drawing in to come and, help Conor Bradley in the right back position. Now we'll talk about Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. They were poor on the night. They were poor. Vinicius Jr. was complaining, but I was here to bro, get up, amigo. Get up, cabron. Vinicius Jr. was complaining, but there were some incidents. I want to talk about the referee. If I don't know if it is only me, but the referee's, performances on that night, I feel like he could have done better. Now let's look at this penalty incident. If you watch the game, just look at the penalty incident. Now this angle would give you a depiction that you can see Aurelien Tchouameni, Clearly, one of his hand is, on the outer part of the body. But when you look at the sequence of where the ball was going, or where the ball touched, or how the ball touched Aurelien Tchouameni's hand, and it was in the penalty box, I think it could have been a penalty. And I think that ball was supposed to be a penalty, but the referee said, it wasn't a penalty. And I mean, it was on looking. I mean, it wasn't deliberate. And if you are a player and you are going down, definitely your hand is going to be on your body, and you can't prevent the ball from touching your hand. So that is what the referee also said out there. I don't know, but I just think that the decisions of the referees on that night could have been better. It could have been better. When you look at some of the decisions they were taking and all of that, it could have been better, could have been better. Olympiacos and PSV Eindhoven also drawing 1-1 now. PSG versus Bayern Munich. PSV versus Bayern Munich now. The level of intensity in this particular game, especially in the first half, for Bayern Munich was top, and even for PSG was really top. This is what the Champions League promised to us, and they are solidly delivering in the group stage. We are like 4 games in the Champions League season, and we are witnessing games like PSV and Bayern Munich. We are witnessing games like Liverpool, Real Madrid. On any day, these are supposed to be a Champions League semi-final, Champions League quarter-final, Champions League final, but we are witnessing these games early days in the Champions League group stage. So big shout out to the Champions League. The new format is doing well. This is what they promised us, and they are getting us the big game. So yeah, I mean, as a fan, I am happy that I'm watching these big games, that the level of intensity in this particular game was top. And big shout outs to Kompany. I think it has been 18 games or 16 games. Kompany has won all the games in a row. And I mean, I am one of those guys who didn't believe in Kompany coming to Bayern Munich. I'm one of those guys, but Kompany has proven that he can, take this job, and he can take Bayern Munich to the next level. So big shout out to Kompany. He's doing really well. Hurricane did solidly well on the night. I mean, Luis Diaz, you could have done better. I think that you could have won the man of the match, but because of the red card and Manuel Neuer also getting, I think, 7+ saves in the game, I think, yes, Manuel Neuer deserved the man of the match. But this is a question. Let me ask this question. Do you think that it's about time Luis Enrique stop this rugby kind of, experiment where in the first half you go and sit at the top of the park, the place, especially in big games, you go and sit at the top, watch the game from the top and then come on the touchline in the second half? Do you think it's about time Luis Enrique stop these experiments in football? I mean, if there is a reason why it is very rampant in rugby, and there is a reason why it is not rampant in football. So do you think it's about time Luis Enrique stopped that? Because let me tell you, all the 2 goals Bayern Munich scored on the night is avoidable, or could have been avoided by the PSG. That is, if there was a coach on the touchline to actually speak to the boys, to actually talk to Marquinhos, to actually talk to Pato, talk to the defenders, it could have been avoided. Especially the second goal. You recognize the second goal because the first goal was, a misplaced pass from, I think, Pacho. It was Pacho on Nuno Mendes, one of them, a misplaced pass, and then they scored the goal. And the second goal was also a mistake leading to a goal from Marquinhos. So I think that if the coach was on the touchline for the first half, he could have done something after the first goal to at least talk to the defenders, talk to them so that they organize themselves very well. So I think that if Luis Enrique was on the touchline for the first half, all those 2 goals could have been avoided. So is it about time Luis Enrique stop all these, rugby kind of, experiment in football, especially in the first half, and then in big games? Bro, you can do it against RC Lens. You can do it against Nantes. You can do it against Brestois. You can do it against Le Havre. No disrespect to them, but in the Champions League, big games like, Bayern Munich, bro, be on the touchline 247. And as he has won the treble, Charlie, you can't say much. You can't chat to him, But I think, it's something that is very concerning, and it's something that we should discuss now. Congratulations to Bayern Munich. I mean, they are sitting first on the, the Champions League lock. So we'll see what they will do. Tottenham Hotspur also won 4-0 against Copenhagen. The time we needed them, they didn't show up. Now you are showing up. The time I needed you, Tottenham, you didn't show up. Now you are showing up against, Copenhagen. They should leave there. They should leave the Tottenham Hotspur. Now, let's look at the table. Quickly look at the table. Bayern Munich leading Bayern Munich leading the table out here by 12 points. Arsenal also following PSG also following by 9 points. Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Liverpool, and then Tottenham, and then the list goes on and on and on and on. And then today we are having, big games. Today we are having some games. Chelsea playing, and Villarreal playing. I think Barcelona also playing today. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Reality Check Champions League review. Click on the subscribe button, press the post notification bell, drop all your thoughts down in the comment section. Let's interact there in the comment section. My name is Kobo, and this has been your Champions League review. Thank you so much for your time. Take care of yourselves, and peace.